Hello, it's Friday the 23rd of September and welcome to Visit Paul Daily. It's a late one today. I'm a lot later than I usually do my little videos. It's been a really hectic day. Obviously I've been to work today, but when I arrived at work I realised I had a totally different route to do which I wasn't prepared for, which took me a lot longer. So I finished probably about 2 hours later than normal. But during my working morning, I often listen to motivational things and things on YouTube as I'm going along, and listen to some good common sense, as I call it. But then I noticed I'd got a message from one of my friends, Peter Rogers, but it wasn't a usual typed message that Pete normally does to me, and let's say, hi, let's have a chat later. He's obviously been watching my daily videos because it was a recorded message. He'd pressed that little microphone button and he left me a recorded message. So it's working. It's only a few days, but it's working. You know, people are starting to do that. So my friend Andy Borthwick's now doing that on WhatsApp. Normally I get loads of WhatsApp messages from Andy during the day, and he's now pressing the button and doing that. And poor guy's just got COVID with his partner at the moment. They both got COVID, so I hope you get better soon, bud. You know, it's not the best thing to have. They are feeling a bit rough with it. But it's just surprising how the last couple of days, the messages I'm getting from people saying, I quite enjoyed your video, that was good, thanks. And you've prompted me, you've made me think about years versus visits. And we're starting to have video calls with people. We're starting to, get into a better habit. So it's been a hectic day. I had Peter Rogers, had a good chat with Peter, and later in the day we had a video call after I had my little siesta, my daytime nap, because I sleep better during the day than I do at night time. I rarely get more than about 2 hours a night, and it's late now, and I'd be lucky if I get 2 hours tonight. But that's part of my regime, is to change those habits. I'm going to get out of those bad habits. But Peter and I had probably a good video call for the best part of an hour. It was really nice to have a good catch up. You know, Pete runs a busy store. He's in a primary internet business with myself that we both do. So we were talking about really good webinar we had last night with some of the good products that are coming out. And one's an amazing video system that we're going to have quite soon, and it's just going to blow Zoom out the water. You know, it's going to be fabulous to be able to use that, and the features it has for people making videos like myself and things like that. It's going to be really, really good. But it was nice to catch up with Pete. And then later in the evening, my daughter, Grace, lives in Norwich. She messaged me, and then she phoned me and a video call and said she'd been working late. So it was about 9 o'clock in the evening, and she'd parked the car up. She was at home, and we had a video call. Normally she rings me and has a video call at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, but she was busy this week. But she doesn't like to leave the week without giving me a call, so we had a good chat and things. So I was talking about my hectic day. I haven't really done all the things I wanted to do. I wanted to go and make this video by 6 o'clock and couldn't do that. I said, so tonight I'm going to have to do it from home. But to be honest, I don't know what the subject's going to be about. I haven't thought about it yet, so I haven't made any notes. And so she came up with a subject. You know, Grace is very sharp, I always think. And she said, well, why don't you talk about health and wellness? Because over the last few months, that's what you've been looking to do, change your health, being good daughters that I've got. They are conscious of me, my health and my sleep patterns and what I'm taking and what I'm drinking and everything else. But I did decide a little while ago that there's something I used to say on training events. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well, and they get lethargic and they go, I can't be bothered. And I had a conversation with a new chap that's come to work at our place this morning, similar sort of age to myself, and he was saying that he wanted to go out tonight to watch this band. But his wife had already said, I don't think I could be bothered, And I said, yeah, but haven't you had those occasions where you think, I can't be bothered to go out, and when you do, you have a fabulous night. You think, well, that was really good. I'm glad we come out now. I said, how many times have we said that? I said, yeah. I said, well, just send her a little message and say, we're going to go out later. Let's get out by 7:30 or whatever it is. And I said, make a point of that because you're going to have a good time. He said, yep, you're dead right. And we got talking about, he was asking me about my family, and I said, well, actually, one daughter lives in just the other side of Dublin, about 30 miles from Dublin. My youngest daughter lives in Norwich. Oh, so does mine, he said, And I said, well, she used to live in London, so did mine. And it's a small world, isn't it? They say we're 6 degrees of separation, within 6 people that you talk to. they've been where you've been, they've got family where you've got family, and sometimes they even know the same people. It's quite weird. So I had a chat with this new chap before I came out today. But I was saying to Grace how busy I was. She said, well, just do it on health and wellness tonight, just a quick one. So tonight's going to be a quick video. I have made some little notes in my little notebook just to go through to cover that. But a lot of people, when they want to change their health or they want to improve their health, they just go all out sometimes. And sometimes, do you really want to go all out? Well, no. I didn't want to go join a gym and try and beef up. I don't think being huge and beefy would suit me these days. I used to be when I was young. I used to do boxing actually. I was quite lucky to keep my nose, my sat nav as I call it, but I had my jaw put out a few times, which got clipped back in. But I was quite lucky and quite aggressive when I was younger. So my temper used to win most of my fights that I used to have in those days. But I was bigger then, and I remember seeing an old photograph I've got with myself and my dad on the doorstep where we used to live, and looking at that, I looked a lot wider, but my neck was actually the same width as my head then. It was quite chunky and big. I thought, well, I don't remember being that size, but I remember I used to do a lot of running, a lot of skipping, a lot of exercise, and I was never out of breath. But these days, even though I've got quite a demanding job and I do a lot of lifting at work, over the 6 hours that I'm there, it's constantly lifting all the time. I'm still out of breath sometimes when I run and that sort of thing. I think I shouldn't be out of breath, So that's been on my mind to change that. So, well, without me going all out and overboard, having to join a gym, paying a fee, feeling guilty because I didn't make it today and stuff like that, I wanted to do things I like to keep things simple, as I said, keep it simple, stupid, as they say. But I like to keep things simple and easy, because if you keep it simple and easy, you're more likely to achieve it, you're more likely to do it, because it doesn't feel like a chore, So one of the first things I cut out was, I do like red meat, and I love steaks and things like that, but I thought, well, I keep reading and watching videos about how a lot of red meat isn't really that good for you. So I have cut out a lot of the red meat and potatoes, and I've replaced that with rice and a lot of fish, and I love fish. At the moment I've got a nice chap at work, Paul, who gives me fish from somewhere, Rutland Water, where we used to live quite near there. But it's rainbow trout, and it's the most delicious fish once you cook it. It really is nice. But I find I'm quite happy cutting down on my intake of food, but just to have a nice sort of steak size cut of that rainbow trout. So one complete fish would actually serve me for about three meals. So I just have that with some rice, with a lemon, squeeze a lemon over the top, and it's a really nice tasty meal. But having had that on a regular basis and getting away from the meat, I found that, I'm enjoying food more, which is nice. I do enjoy, because you come home from work sometimes and you get your meal ready, and we live to habit, and it's like, oh, it's nearly meal time, and you're looking at the clock. Well, why are we doing that? Why do we have to have our meal by 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock? Have it when you're hungry, have it when you're ready. It might be early, it might be later. So I've got out of that. That's another habit I've changed. I've stopped living to time. And Grace said, well, I've noticed, you've done a lot of things now. You look happier, you look better, you seem to feel healthier. I said, actually, yeah, it's just a simple combination of a few things. I've always drunk aloe vera juice, so I have this one, and it's quite a good strength. As you can see, it's quite a large bottle. What is this content? How much? It should say on it. It says looking too long. How many milligrams? Can't see. Anyway, if I can see it, I'll tell you. But it's kind of like it's normally written on the front there. Oh, here. So a 1 litre bottle. Now that 1 litre bottle is around £10. Now you can pay 10, 15, 20, 21 pounds for a bottle of aloe vera juice, but I've used that for a few years now, and I find it quite nice. There are certain health shops and things that do it. They're actually quite expensive. There's a family shop brand called Boys, Boyes, and there's one in Melton Mowbray, there's one in March, there's one in Holbeach. They are dotted around different areas, but they sell that for around about £10. But you can also buy that through Amazon for around about £10. So my friend Bob Dean buys 2 a month and gives one to me, and he has one. So I got Bob in the habit of having an aloe vera juice, but I'm not really a lover of tablets. I don't like tablets. I have to, if I have tablets like painkillers, I chew them. You know, and people say, "How can you chew that paracetamol? How can you chew that? It's horrible, awful." But I just have this problem swallowing tablets. I gag, and yet, you know, large lumps of meat and potato in the past, not a problem. Have it straight away. But with that, it's just a psychological block. Have these things. So if something's liquid, I'd much prefer it. So I've got on the aloe vera juice, and that's been quite good. Now, and since I've moved here, so I've moved out in the country now, and I really am right out in the country, and it's quite high up. Scenery is lovely, and I've paid attention to that. So I've found lots of walks every day. So that little park where you've seen me in the last couple of days, that's literally around the corner. It's quite a large park, and it's a big enough walk to make a significant difference, but it's not too short, not too long. So sometimes I just go and make the video, go and walk around the park, come back. Sometimes I walk around the park, come back, and then go and walk around the village, the whole village itself. So I could be out for about an hour and a half, but it's constantly walking, and I'm looking at nice views, and I'm finding myself relaxing more because felt a bit uptight really last year or so, and you know, you try and go to bed and get some sleep, but your body hasn't wound down, your mind hasn't wound, you know, is not winding down. And I've cut back on the laptop late at night. I try not to be on that too late. Try to stop looking at Marketplace and stop looking at cars on Facebook and various different things, because it can be a waste of time. So little simple things like that I've done. Didn't need to go to the gym, just needed to change my diet slightly. You know, gyms are good, and I've nothing against them, but to me they're just they can be quite time consuming, and I just want to fit things in different 15-minute slots in the day. So changed my diet, gone from red meat to fish and rice. Certainly got back in the habit of having aloe vera all the time. Always drink a lot more water now. You know, I know people say water is really good for you, and it is. You know, it does flush the body out and stuff. So I always have at least one bottle, sometimes two bottles, two small bottles. I take with me to work every day, so that's always in a van with me. And sometimes at night time, you think, you know, I've had enough tea. I just fancy something, and I'll grab a bottle of water. So water's brilliant. Have more water. I say I've changed my diet. And the other thing that Grace brought to my attention a little while ago, she was watching something on YouTube with this doctor called Rhonda Patrick. She's a PhD, and she was talking about the benefits of a sauna and a steam room, but mainly a sauna. Now, a year ago, I had a bit of a bad car crash, and I'm still suffering with whiplash now, and I'm still waiting for the payout on that, you know, to get that. They're still arguing over the case. I'm still waiting for treatment. I had a little bit of treatment, about five sessions of treatment, but he said, we're not quite happy with your neck. You know, there's something wrong with the top of your spine. You can't turn your head all the way to the left properly like you can to the right. We'd like to refer you to a consultant. And that was on the 27th of September last year, and here we are now, September this year. It's nearly a whole year now. It's 23rd today, and I'm still waiting. He said it would be 2 to 4 weeks, and I'm still waiting. Well, that's insurance companies for you, which is really annoying. But because of that, I get massive headaches, and they're more like migraines. So I could get 3 or 4 a day, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with one, go to bed with one, and 2 in the day. So for the last year, I've been having anything up to 6 to 8 paracetamols a day to get rid of those headaches. So I'm eating and chewing 8 tablets a day. That's 200 a month. That cannot be good for my liver. So I'm very conscious of that. So I started to go to watch this video that Grace sent me, and I started to go to a local leisure centre where I used to live before I moved here, and they just did it on a daily basis, which was great. I didn't have to join anything. And they said, oh no, you just pay as you go. You can go swimming 2 or 3 times, as much as you like in there, and we've got a sauna and we've got a steam room. So I could do that for £4.50, so just per visit, which was great. So I could spend all afternoon there, and you could soon waste £4.50 doing something else. But when I come out of there, I felt really well, and I thought, God, skin feels good. I feel refreshed. I've had a good swim. Nothing was rushed, nothing was timed, and I must have gone in and out of that sauna and the steam room 4 to 6 times and had little sessions in there. And it's actually quite nice just to close your eyes and, you know, and just relax and things. And there was always a little joke to go with that, you know. Always burn my mouth on that ladle when I want to drink. But I thought I got used to that. At least once a week, that was quite nice. Now I've moved, I need to find around this area, either Grantham or Melton Mowbray, Is there somewhere like that around here, like a leisure centre or a commercial bars or something, that just has a sauna that I can just go to once a week, twice a week? But the difference in that, what I did notice was, instead of me having 8 tablets a day, by the time I'd come out the sauna in the afternoon, sometimes I didn't even have 5 and 6, let alone number 7 and 8. So sometimes my intake of tablets dropped just with that. So I've picked up that video again tonight. I found it again tonight. So I'm actually going to place that video link. There's actually 2 links with this lady Rhonda, this doctor, in the description below. So if you want to have a look at that, it's quite interesting actually. But the benefits of a sauna on your health is actually quite dramatic. And I thought that's really good. The other thing that I'm going to get, I've got both my daughters coming to see me in November, and they're going to stay with me for 3 or 4 days. So I'm really looking forward to seeing both of them at the same time and have them here. You know, they've not been to my new home yet, so they haven't seen where I live, and all my neighbours that seem to like me because I give them lots of bread every day and, you know, do help them and do things for them. But Grace is going to bring me a juicer. She's always used a juicer for quite a long time. I actually bought her a juicer. I think it was for a Christmas present, big one. And she said, I've actually got 2. She said, so I'm not going to give you the one that you bought me because that's a really good one. But I'm going to bring you another juicer and show me what to do and how to do it. Because, again, benefits of using a juicer. And it's nice and quick and convenient. And she's been using it quite a long time now. But my other friend, Mick Garrett, that I mentioned the other day, he's always popping off to Greece. He loves the little short holiday breaks. But Mick uses a juicer all the time. And he's the same age as me, I think 63, 64. But he was saying in the last month he's lost about 3 or 4 pounds. He wants to lose a little bit off his waist like I do. But he said the amount of things that you just normally throw away, like the big stumps of the broccoli. He said people cut those big stumps off and they throw them away, where they're actually the best part of that vegetable. He said, so you put some of those in it. He said, and rather than it just be some green mess that looks horrible, he said, you know, put a bit of pineapple in it or something like that, or a pear, and it just makes that a little bit sweeter and really nice to taste. He said, but I've just got energy all the time. So there's the juicers on the list. That's another thing you might want to get, is a juicer. But the last thing for me really is sleep. You know, I because I've been marketing all these years, and I've been mostly network marketing. I don't network market now. I'm in a corporation which is an IT company. It's a bricks and mortar business, which is the internet business. Besides, obviously, my job. But I've still got that bad habit of staying up late, like it is now. I won't even tell you what time it is now. but trust me, let's put it this way. I've got to get up at 3, and I won't get 2 hours sleep tonight, but I will sleep tomorrow morning. But after tomorrow, I've actually got 10 or 11 days holiday that I'm using up. So I'm going to be at home all the time. I'm going to use that time to find a sauna. I'm going to get back into that habit. It'll give me a lot more time to go walking, and I might even try running, jogging. But just more time for fitness for myself and get that going, and generally walking before the bad weather comes in. And to get that right, but also it gives me time to make these little short videos instead of me rushing to try and make one every day thinking what's the subject going to be today, because it's quite a commitment really. When I said visit Paul daily, well, that's good. I want to get you into the habit of visiting other people, getting on the video calls, having a chat with them, and but to do that I've got to come on here to remind you to say, when you finish with this video call with me over the next 15 minutes, whether it's morning, evening or afternoon, where you are around the world, who could you talk to today? You know, because it was quite nice having those video calls today. You know, that was just 2 or 3 calls today. I've got my friend Ricky West. Ricky's been in touch, and Ricky came from the same road that I did in Sunbury-on-Thames. And Ricky's my brother's age, so he's 3 years older than me. But when we were kids, Ricky was like my hero. He looked a bit like a young Burt Reynolds. Very good-looking lad, you know, good-looking chap, strong as an ox. And he was just a nice guy. Ricky was just like, you wanted to make friends with Ricky, and he was just always helpful and everything else. And when I was a kid, he had this racing bike, and I would sit on the crossbar of this bike, and we'd tear off everywhere and go do stuff, you know. And we were always spent a lot of time together, you know. And when he left school, I went one way, he went another way, and he became a fireman for many years. So Ricky's obviously retired from the fire service now, and we've kept in touch again. Got back in touch with Ricky through Facebook some years ago, and I think Ricky, I think he's Winchester way. It's either Winchester or Wiltshire way. Ricky is. It might be Wiltshire, But he messaged the other day and said, like, let's have a little video. And he watched one of my videos this week. Said, well, it's time for a visit. He drives a black cab now. He's a cab driver. He's got his own one of those big electric cabs. So and he's thoroughly enjoying himself. At say age 66, he's still doing that, but he's loving it. He's having a nice time. He's doing what he wants to do. But so tomorrow, I said, well, come on the weekend, let's have a video call. So because of this series that I've now started, it's prompted me to speak to a few more friends, but it's also prompted them friends to get in touch with me to say, hi bud, let's have a video call, next couple of days. So I'm not chasing them. They're saying, well, I liked your video. So it shows me they're actually watching the video. So we're going to do that. But it's the sleep habit that I really need to get sorted, because again, I've watched some YouTube videos and by various doctors, and they say, well, how true this, I don't know, but especially in men for some reason, if you don't get at least 7.5 hours sleep a night, it can age you by up to 10 years, and it can take 10 years off your life. Well, I already look old enough for my age. I don't want to look any older, so that's something I've got to get sorted. But it will be better to have longer sleeps, these 2 or 3 hours a night. It can't be good for you. It isn't good for you. You need proper rest and everything. And there's a little funny caption that I often put on Facebook, saying you need 8 hours beauty sleep, 9 if you're ugly, so I'm pushing that way now. So we're getting to the time span. I don't really want to go over 20 minutes, 21 minutes. I think that's a good time to have a little quick chat. But that's what today was about, just a quick chat, a quick visit. So I really thank you wherever you are around the world. If you're watching this again, a lot of people in New Zealand and Australia seem to be jumping on board, which is really good. I'm getting some lovely comments from you there. So thanks for that. So thanks for your visit. But I just want to keep it nice and simple and just tell you some of the things I'm doing to change some of my habits. Is that something that you've thought about? Well, I want to be a bit fitter. I want to be a little bit healthier. I don't have time for the gym. I don't have time to buy specialist foods and things like that. What could I change that's simple, that would suit my lifestyle, suit my budget, that we could do and perhaps do together? So let's keep in touch. Say, well, how are you doing with your sleep? Well, I'm getting more sleep now, thanks. Have you not noticed I'm looking a bit better? How you doing? Are you losing any weight off that laptop of yours? Yeah, I've lost a couple of pounds. And just stuff like that, keep in touch with that. So I've already thought about a subject for tomorrow's video. When I was talking to that lady, Sadie, the other day, so I said I met this lady she was sitting on the next bench to me in the park, and she got her kids running around, and she thought they were disturbing me because she could see I was reading notes. I said, no, I'm just about to make a video. So I sat on her table and we got talking about what I was doing, years versus visits, and we were just chatting. And she said, I'd love to be able to do what you do. I'd love to be confident enough to speak on a video or even speak in general. And she said, but it must be really hard. And I just looked at her and smiled. I said, you're already doing it. You're doing it now. You're just having a chat. And that's how I do my videos. I have a chat. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably do it earlier. Tomorrow's video is going to be public speaking. How to make it easy. Because some people find it very, very hard, and they literally freeze up and panic and get into a cold sweat, especially if they've got to go to a wedding or a funeral or something like that where they've got to stand up and speak. And those that know me, some people I've been to weddings, they go, if we wanted you to speak, would you speak? Yeah, of course I will. And I've been to funerals, they say, look, if we call upon you to say a few words, would you? Absolutely. And it doesn't faze me in the slightest. And I'll be telling you about some of the platforms that I've been on and some of the speaking engagements where I've had famous people sitting in front of me, like Evel Knievel was on the front row because he was part of the business that we're in. I'm thinking, the president of the company sitting there, and Evel Knievel sitting there looking straight at me, and I've got to do this presentation for the next 40 minutes without slipping up, without looking like an idiot, without, messing up. I want to look professional, but I want to do my best, And the whole day went very well, as I'll tell you a little bit more about that tomorrow. But public speaking doesn't have to be frightening. It doesn't have to be a nightmare. And there's just a few simple things that I've learned over the years that I've shown other people to do. I've got one friend, Dick Appleby, lovely chap. Hi, Dick, if you're watching. He used to live in Peterborough. He spent the last several years out in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. He was only going to go out there for about 2 years. I think he was out there about 12, I think, maybe 13. But he's coming back to the UK now. But Dick and I used to be involved in a network marketing company together. And he still blames me and thanks me for teaching him how to speak. I used to get him up at meetings and he'd do a little bit of the presentation, and then he'd do his story, and then next minute he's doing the presentation, and then later he's doing the training. And he said that's majorly contributed to getting him the job that he's got now, which was helping to design the airport out in Dubai years and years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, because he has to stand up in front of his board members and do presentations, things like that. He said, couldn't have done that, and so thanks for that. And I said, well, I only showed you what to do, you decided to do it. But there are simple ways that I've found that works for me, and hopefully it'll work for you. So thanks very much. So when you finish with me on this visit tonight, think over the next 15 minutes today. Who could you call today to say, hi, I'm thinking about you today, just thought we'd have a visit. Yeah, but you don't normally call me on a video call. Well, I wanted to see you. I don't just want to hear you, I want to see you. How you doing? You're looking good. Give them a compliment. You're looking good. Don't say, oh, you're looking tired. God, you look terrible, because they'll push the button and get rid of you. But just when you speak to people, lift them up on a daily basis, and you'll find that by lifting them up, you've raised yourself 2 or 3 inches as well. You've raised your mood, you've raised your days, your spirits, and you think, oh, that's nice, having a good chat with them. Like I did with Peter Rogers today. We had a lovely chat. As soon as we come off it, we did little text only. Enjoyed that, Pete. Speak to you again next few days. And it's good to keep in touch. It's good to to catch up with people. So thank you very much for visiting me today. I can't promise you more years, like I said, but I can promise you another visit. I'll see you tomorrow and the rest of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.